You've seen a lot of press in the last couple of days. First, it was Caterpillar, who said that the bill, if passed, and now subsequently has passed, has immediately had to take a $100 million charge against their earnings in their next public reporting statements. I believe John Deere did $120 or $150 million today. Why is that? Well, without getting too boring, when they created the Medicare prescription drug program, for all of its flaws, when they said they wanted to have people keep what they currently had, they actually meant it. So what they did is, for people who work for large companies who have retiree health programs, they continue to allow a tax deduction for companies who paid for retiree drug programs. Under the terms of the bill, or now the law, that tax deduction goes away. So for some very large companies who may have a lot of retirees, that is an enormous, immediate, one-time tax burden. What is the eventual result going to be? They're going to get rid of the retiree drug program, and people will get dumped into the system. The question is the effect on jobs. Hopefully not many of you were able to stomach much of the, quote, healthcare summit that was at C-SPAN a couple weeks back. But one of Nancy Pelosi's more remarkable statements was that this bill, if passed, would immediately create 400,000 jobs. So, for those of you looking for jobs, I don't know, that's like 1,000 jobs a day for the next year, and we're, 5 days into it, 3 or 4 days into it already. I don't see too many jobs that have been created. That was based upon effectively flawed data from a left-wing group who the main person was actually an advisor to the president who did the study, David Cutler from Harvard. The Beacon Hill Institute, which is part of Suffolk University, took the exact same formulas and looked at the data. And they believe that the bill will cost up to about 700,000 additional jobs over 10 years. So these are all estimates, but it's fair to say that it's not going to do that. Very, very quickly on impact on businesses. The first and foremost effect on business that you're going to see is that they're going to start taxing dividend payments for people with incomes of over $250,000 a year. Now, you may say that people who make that much money, what's going to be 3-4% to them? But dividend payments, that's called the return on their investment when they put their money in companies to help them grow. That is how we get jobs. So, if you have a lot of money, are you going to choose to put your money into new businesses if it's riskier when you know you need to make an additional 4% just to break even on your investment? That's a job killer. Businesses with more than 50 employees will be subject to a penalty of up to $2,000 for every employee. Now, real quickly on this as well, I know all of you are interested in these details here, but the way the bill says is if you have 50 employees, there's no penalty, at least on day one, right? We'll change that. For failing to provide, quote, adequate insurance that the government defines. If you go to 51 employees and you have even one of those 51 who are not getting, quote, adequate insurance according to some federal formula, you pay a penalty of $2,000 for every single employee you have, exempting the first 30. So, quick math. If you go from 50 to 51 employees and you happen to be, happen to have hired a 21-year-old who's making $8 or $10 an hour, well, there's a good chance that suddenly you're going to pay a $42,000 federal fine. What's the real practical result? Well, who qualifies for that is based upon federal poverty level. And again, it should be all about jobs, jobs, and more jobs. Well, the system significantly penalizes single moms because federal poverty level is based upon the total number of people in your family. So a single person with no children gets above federal poverty with a lower salary than a single mom with 2 kids. So if you are a business owner looking to expand and you're getting close to that threshold, which person are you more likely to go seek out to hire? The single mom with 3 kids, where federal poverty might be $30,000 or $40,000 a year, or the 22-year-old who doesn't have any children, where the federal poverty level might be $15,000 or $16,000 per year. So those are just some of the ways in which the bill is bad for business.